from the station that's on your side. This is Channel 7 News Midday.
Hi, everybody. Welcome into Midday Arkansas. Glad you're here today. It's Thursday, December 1st. I'm meteorologist Barry Brand.
And I'm Kimberly Roosley in for Aaron Hawley. Let's get started with your news today. Channel 7 has learned about a small riot at one Arkansas prison. Authorities are calling it a mini riot. We'll tell you what we know. Plus, he's on the move today, going to Indiana and Ohio on what he's calling his thank you tour. President-elect Donald Trump is also discussing his plan to save American jobs on the tour. We'll have more about that and today's top stories in just a moment. But first, let's get the forecast from Barry for this chilly day. Barry, what can we expect?
Yeah, it's chilly, but it's about where it ought to be this time of the year. And certainly it's not bitterly cold, and it is beautiful outside. There are changes coming, big changes. Lots of changes, and we'll talk more about it. But first, let's take a look at our Middleton Skycam, and there is a beautiful blue sky out there. At the Big Rock Interchange, you can see traffic moving smoothly and some fall leaves there in the foreground. Right now at the airport, the winds have gone calm. If anything, we'll have a south wind today. It'll be a light south wind, and that boosts our temperatures from the mid-50s where they are now up to the upper 50s. It's 47 still at Conway, 52 at Lone Oak, 51 at Cabot and Beebe, 52 in Saline County at Perrin and at Benton and Bryant. And it's 53 degrees at Redfield and DeWitt. Sheridan, you're also at 53 degrees. For today, I'll call it near normal highs. 58 at Hot Springs and Conway. Those are the maximum temperatures this time of the year between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll see those. 57 at Cabot, up to near 60 degrees at Benton and Bryant for a high. Searcy 57 and Pine Bluff 59, and not as windy as it's been. So it'll feel pretty nice outside. 59 our high here in Little Rock, and tonight not quite as cool as it's been. We'll have a low of 38 degrees. There's cloud cover coming, and there are several rounds of rain. And we'll also talk about some very chilly, the coldest air of the season ahead in this forecast. Kimberly?
Thanks, Barry. This morning, we're learning more about a prison disturbance at the Varner unit in Grady, Arkansas last night. We're told the disturbance happened about 10:30 in the housing area of the unit. Corrections authorities say guards responded to a disturbance involving about a dozen inmates. We're told they were breaking barracks windows and setting small trash fires. Authorities say guards were able to regain control of the unit with only one minor injury to a correctional officer. No inmates were injured. Scary news out of North Little Rock today. Police say a murder suspect is on the loose right now and is considered to be armed and dangerous. Officials have now identified 30-year-old Brent Gant as the suspect in Tuesday's homicide. He's wanted on a capital murder warrant in the shooting death of 31-year-old Pedro Omar Bez Esperanza. If you know where Gant is, call North Rock Police immediately. The suspect accused of shooting and killing a responding volunteer firefighter back in January is in court today. The judge in the case is expected to decide if Mark Pruitt is fit to stand trial after undergoing a mental evaluation. In a hearing a few weeks ago, a doctor who evaluated Pruitt said he was fit to stand trial, but that still has to be made official by the judge. Pruitt is charged in the death of Lieutenant Jason Adams, who was shot and killed as he responded to Pruitt's home. A funeral service will be held today for the 2-year-old who was killed last week in a drive-by shooting here in Little Rock. The community and family gathered to hold a vigil last night at the Robinson Mortuary for Ramaya Reed. Her family spoke to Channel 7 about how they are pushing for an end to the violence and a time to heal.
Everybody needs to stop the violence all over Little Rock because look what happened. The 2-year-old's dead, like, for nothing, you know what I'm saying?
If you have a heart, just come forward. I mean, I know you might be scared or whatever, but just come forward to give us a peace of mind.
That shooter still on the loose this morning. There's a $20,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. That shooting is part of a violent couple of weeks here in Little Rock. Today, Little Rock detectives are now working multiple homicide investigations, so they're trying to beef up neighborhood watch programs. Through the program, neighbors get to know each other better and become aware of strange cars, people, or circumstances that might require police response. The watch is sponsored by LRPD, so they also provide services for victims when crimes happen. They're hoping to open lines of communication and help reduce the stigma of talking to police.
That way, when we're talking to each other every day saying, hey, this happened, did you notice what happened down the street? It doesn't have that negative connotation until it's like, oh, I called the police department. And
the goal of the program is to prevent crimes, but also to have a system in place to report crimes when they happen. Following up on those Tennessee fires, today officials will begin cleanup and recovery efforts following the devastating wildfires in Gatlinburg. The rain the state received over the last 24 hours has helped battle those fires. Officials discovered 3 more bodies yesterday, raising the death toll to 7. 3 other people who had been trapped since the wildfires began were rescued. The mayor of Gatlinburg promises the city will be rebuilt. Today, President-elect Donald Trump is heading to Indianapolis to talk about the deal to keep hundreds of jobs in a carrier manufacturing plant from moving to Mexico. The company announced the plans earlier this year, with reports showing cheaper labor in Mexico as low as $3 per hour without benefits. Details of the negotiations are to be discussed behind closed doors today. What the president-elect has made public, plans to leave his own business to fully focus on running the country. Trump will also stop in Ohio today with Vice President Mike Pence on what he is calling his thank you tour. Still ahead today on Midday Arkansas, we had some very cold temperatures this morning, but what about tonight? Meteorologist Barry Brent has that forecast you're looking for next. And later, the holidays are here, and so is the Big Jingle Jubilee Parade. It's coming up this Saturday. Details on the parade after the break.
Skycams, sponsored by Middleton Heat and Air.
Welcome back. A new federal initiative, which is underway at Stony Brook University in New York, seeks to prevent deaths in terror attacks and school shootings by training ordinary people, from custodians to administrators, on how to treat gunshots, gashes, and other injuries. The idea is to offer some kind of assistance during these fatal minutes and hours when the wounded are hunkered down waiting for the violence to play out and for EMTs to arrive. This kind of training could have been helpful, for example, in Monday's attack at Ohio State University. Stony Brook began the training sessions this week. For more on today's Terror Alert Watch, here's Jonathan Elias.
From the Terrorism Alert Desk in Washington, D.C., I'm Jonathan Elias. Documents captured from ISIS while retaking the city of Mosul show that the terror group is planning more terror attacks in Europe. The deputy commander of U.S.-led operations against the terror group says there are explicit threats that they've uncovered. He did not disclose any information. The plans, he said, are going to be shared just with those in need. And in Mosul right now, a fresh warning from the UN about growing humanitarian crisis there. It says that the limited supplies of food and water are quickly running out. Water was cut to about 40% of the residents in the city when a pipeline was hit during fighting. The offensive to retake the city now is in its 6th week. And a North Carolina man accused of murdering his neighbor and plotting a terrorist attack in the name of ISIS has pleaded guilty. Federal investigators say that Justin Sullivan was plotting to kill as many as 1,000 people. Sullivan was caught trying to recruit members to join ISIS. One of the people he contacted was an undercover agent. Sullivan now could be facing life in prison. From the Terrorism Alert Desk in Washington, I'm Jonathan Elias.
Coming up after the break, we're heading into some colder temperatures, but of course Barry says that's normal for this time of the year. His forecast on how cold it gets after the break.
Their team with the most experience. This is Channel 7 meteorologist Barry Brandt.
Quiet now, but more active weather is on the way. We're going to give you the time frame on multiple storm systems coming through in just a second. First, a look outside. Our 5 live Doppler radars, no rainfall anywhere on it, nor is there any cloud cover. I've included the cloud cover on there too, but you wouldn't know it by looking at that. It's just nice all around the Mid-South, and it will remain that way not only today, but for tomorrow. So sunny for a while and near normal highs. We should be in the upper 50s. That's where we'll be, to maybe 60 degrees. And then on and off rainfall is ahead. It begins on the weekend, and again, I'm going to show you a time frame on that. But first, let's jump out to next Thursday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. The GFS model, our main governmental model here in the U.S., says 29 degrees. Now, the European model, another one that we look at, says 28 degrees with teens showing up in northwest Arkansas. So there is chillier air that is on the way, and it'll be behind one of these multiple systems we've got coming through. Friday, late in the day, some cloud cover. Rain chances getting better by Saturday afternoon. I know there's high school football championships this afternoon, or Saturday afternoon in Little Rock. The rain chances picking up during the noon game, and then really good for the evening game. Sunday, a diminished chances of rain, and will remain cool there. Hour by hour today, mostly sunny, if not completely sunny skies as we head up into the upper 50s, and then chilling down tonight, but there will be a light south wind. So last night with a lot of frost, I don't think there'll be as much frost tomorrow morning. It won't be quite as cold as it was. And there you can see the broad view up around the Great Lakes. There's some cloud cover and on St. Louis northward. But again, we're in the brilliant sunshine and not a bad temperature pattern for this time of the year. The cold air remains locked up north. 54 and a calm wind at the airport right now. And the air is dry like it ought to be this time of the year. That is our Middleton Skycam looking out in west Little Rock. Right now it's in the 40s north, 47 at Russellville, still in the valley. 54 here in Little Rock, and it's a little warmer at Pine Bluff. You're at 56 degrees. So let's take you through the next few hours here and even through the day tomorrow. Well, you can see still a mostly sunny Friday. There's 3 p.m. on Friday. Then the clouds begin to build Friday night. Now, I'm going to take you into Saturday morning. This is just one model. Other models are a little faster than this, but it shows that during the midday hour and into the late afternoon, we're going to have a good round of rain coming through, and then maybe other rounds of rain Sunday and especially Monday, and we're not done after that. Here's your forecast, though. 59 today, sunny and cool and not as windy as it's been. Of a southwest wind, maybe up to 5 or 8 miles an hour, and not quite as cold tonight, but pretty chilly with a low of 38. Now, here's where it gets a whole lot more interesting. Again, those rain chances mainly Saturday in the afternoon. Sunday, a little low, not a complete stoppage of the rain. And then Monday, good chances of rain. Then it starts to warm up. And on Wednesday, that system there with rain chances, well, we're going to get, as we get closer, we'll give you a better idea of how good those rain chances are. But suffice to say that the air behind that is the coldest we've seen so far this year. And at 5 o'clock today, I'll jump one more day out to Thursday and show you just how chilly that air will be. Kimberly.
I'm looking forward to that rain, but thank you, Barry. Coming up next, a Christmas parade, a fireworks show, and the Capitol lighting. How your family can enjoy all of those next Saturday. Welcome back. It's an exciting time of year with all of the holiday traditions, and one of those traditions is coming up this Saturday. The Big Jingle Jubilee Holiday Parade. It kicks off at 3 p.m. at 2nd and Broadway in downtown Little Rock. Libby Lloyd with the Convention Center is here to talk to us all about the parade. Talk to us about what we can expect. Give us an overview here.
Okay, well, first of all, you can expect a lot of fun. It is the best way to kick off the holiday season. The annual Big Jingle Jubilee is always a fun time to bring the family out and your friends. And we'll, of course, have Santa Claus. He's taking a break, and he's coming to visit us again this year. Okay. And we'll have Mrs. Claus and, of course, Rudy the reindeer. Always very fun staples to the parade.
Yeah, absolutely. And you all have a very special Grand Marshal this year. We watched him in the Olympics.
Yes, we did. Yes. We are so excited to have this year's Grand Marshal be Jeff Henderson. And Jeff is a local guy. He's from McAlmont, right across the river near North Little Rock. And yes, you're right. He won the gold in Rio for his long jump, and he's going to be coming back. He's training in California right now, but he'll be back this weekend to lead our parade.
And do you all always have these big-time Grand Marshals for your parade?
Typically we do. We have been so fortunate. We've had in the past we've had Miss Arkansas, we've had Cody Ballou, who was on The Voice. We've had Peyton Hillis, who's a Razorback and NFL player, and so we've really lucked out, and this year is another fine example of that.
Wow, well, wonderful. I'm sure people are excited to come. Talk to me about the floats and how many floats you have and how many participants there are.
Yeah, we've got a big crowd this year. We've got about 9 marching bands, and we've got nearly 30 floats. So in totality, with all of the other people participating in the parade, we have more than 100 entries. So,
wow.
yeah, so it's about a 2-hour long parade.
Nice, so sizable parade that
Yes.
people can come enjoy for a while.
Absolutely. It starts at 3 o'clock downtown at 2nd and Broadway, and it works its way up Capitol Avenue to the Capitol building itself. And so, personally, I like to take a chair and a blanket and even some hot chocolate and just sit on Capitol Avenue and watch everything go by.
Oh, absolutely, and the temperatures are just right for that.
Yeah.
And talking about what happens after the parade, there's something that goes on afterwards, right?
Yes, yes, that's sort of the precursor. That's why I say this is the perfect day to kick off the holiday season. So once the parade makes its way to its conclusion at the Capitol building, the Secretary of State's office will have the official lighting of the Capitol and the Christmas tree, and then there will be a grand fireworks display.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
And not only that, but the participants that are in the parade, they're in some kind of competition,
Yes,
right?
they are, and this is something that we've done for several years and very happy to continue to do that this year. The marching bands, the winner of that competition gets $1,000 for their school, and the second prize receives $500. And then the nonprofits who are competing with their floats and entries, they go first prize $1,000, second prize $750, and third prize $500. And there's no better time to have that money for them to help our community.
Wow, absolutely. That's absolutely right. In just a few seconds here left, tell us again the details about the parade,
Yes.
when and where.
Yes, this Saturday, December the 3rd at 3 p.m. downtown, 2nd and Broadway, then on to Capitol, and then followed by the fireworks and the lighting of the Capitol and the tree. And just in case we do have a little bit of some inclement weather, you know, we do go on, rain or shine, but if something were to happen and we get close to freezing temperatures or lightning, people can go to holidaysinlittlerock.com for all of those details, and we should be making that determination tomorrow, so stay tuned.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Libby, for joining
Thank
us
you,
today.
Kimberly.
It's time to see who's celebrating a birthday or anniversary. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Really limited sunshine over the next 7 days, but pretty much unlimited today, this part of it anyway, and it'll be a nice day for Thursday and Friday. Let's take a look at the 7-day outlook, and you'll see rain chances coming in and cloud cover too as we head into the weekend. And certainly by the afternoon hours, the rain chances are going to start to ramp up, and they're going to get quite good by Sunday evening. Sunday, a little bit of a lull. It won't be a day-long rain, certainly. And then Monday, especially later in the day, another system comes through. And there's yet another system on Wednesday. That one is more important because the air behind it is cold today at 5. I'll tell you exactly how cold it's going to be.
All right, chilly, Barry. Thanks. And thanks for watching Midday Arkansas with us today. We'll hope to see you again tonight for Channel 7 at 5. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye, everybody.